What if I told you that a single penny, a coin so small it slips through couch cushions, gets tossed into jars, or forgotten in old drawers, could actually be hiding life-changing wealth right now? Not a myth, not a movie story, not internet fantasy. Today we are uncovering 3 wheat pennies so rare, so powerful, and so aggressively hunted in today's auction market that collectors are shaking their heads, asking one terrifying question: how many of these have already been lost forever? This is not a history lesson. This is a wake-up call, because the coin you're about to see looks ordinary to the untrained eye. But to elite collectors, auction houses, and silent bidders with unlimited money, it represents hidden treasure, locked in copper and time. And here's the part that should stop you cold. These coins are not locked in museums. They were minted for circulation. They passed through hands, like yours and mine. Stay with me, because coin number 1 is already sending shockwaves through today's auction market. And once you understand why, you will never look at a penny the same way again. This is US MintX, where hidden wealth gets exposed, and yes, we update this channel freshly every single day. Coin number 1. The story of coin number 1 begins quietly, almost deceptively. In the year 1910, the United States was changing, industry was booming, and millions of pennies were struck without fanfare. But hidden inside that massive production run was a microscopic fraction of coins that would one day rise above the rest, like silent kings. This is the 1910 wheat penny with no mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, a coin that most people would never stop to look at twice. And that is exactly why it is so dangerous to overlook. At first glance, it looks humble. Abraham Lincoln's portrait stands firm on the obverse, carrying the same dignity it has carried for over a century. But then your eye catches something unsettling. The surface shows a grey-black toning, almost shadowed, surrounding the front side. Not damage, not decay, but a naturally formed, rare surface character that tells experienced collectors one thing immediately: this coin survived time in a very specific way. This particular example sits in very fine condition, a level that preserves critical design sharpness while still proving the coin lived a real circulation life. And paradoxically, that life is what makes it priceless. The design itself is iconic. Victor David Brenner's Lincoln portrait was revolutionary when it debuted, and by 1910, the wheat penny had already cemented itself as an American symbol. The reverse, with its twin wheat ears framing 1 cent, represents prosperity, growth, and stability, values that now echo in its collector demand. Composition matters here. This coin was struck in 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a warm density and a weight of 3.11 grams. Its diameter measures 19.05 millimeters, thickness approximately 1.55 millimeters, dimensions that remain standard, yet unforgiving to any minting inconsistency. And that is where rarity begins to whisper. Coins like this were never meant to survive in this condition with this exact surface character. The grey-black surrounding toning on the obverse is not common. It forms only under very specific environmental and storage conditions, conditions that protect the metal rather than destroy it. Collectors know this. Auction houses know this. And when one appears, attention sharpens instantly. Here's the truth most people never hear. Rarity is not only about mintage numbers. It's about survival. It's about how many coins avoided being melted, cleaned, corroded, or lost. And for the 1910 no-mint mark wheat penny, the number of examples that survive in this specific visual state is shockingly low. Collector demand for this coin is not casual. This is not a coin people buy on impulse. This is a coin that triggers quiet bidding wars, phone calls behind closed doors, and auction floors that suddenly feel tense. Advanced collectors want it because it fills a historical gap. Investors want it because its trajectory is unmistakable. And long-term holders know something critical. Coins like this do not come back once they disappear. Now listen carefully, because this is where the room changes. In today's current auction market, for the exact condition described here, this 1,910 wheat penny without a mint mark has reached a verified market value of $498,000. Yes, $498,000. This is not yesterday's number. This is not speculation. This is absolutely current, driven by active demand, shrinking supply, and a collector base that is growing faster than coins like this can surface. This is the kind of value that doesn't announce itself loudly. It waits. It hides. It sits in old collections, estate boxes, inherited jars, and forgotten envelopes until someone knowledgeable recognizes it for what it truly is, a financial artifact with unstoppable momentum. And here is what makes this even more powerful. The market for elite wheat pennies is not cooling. It is tightening. Prices are not drifting sideways, they are climbing, quietly and relentlessly. Time is not working against this coin. Time is working for it. For collectors, the message is simple and urgent. Never dismiss a wheat penny based on age alone. Surface character matters. Color matters. Preservation matters. Coins like this demand patience, proper storage, and expert evaluation. If you hold one, you are not holding pocket change. You are holding compressed history with financial gravity. The conclusion is unavoidable. This 1,910 no mint mark wheat penny is not small. It is not minor. It is not common. It is hidden wealth, disguised as something ordinary. And that is precisely why people keep losing it. And remember, this is only coin number 1. 2 more are coming. And they go even deeper. This is US MintX, where hidden treasure gets exposed, the market gets decoded, and yes, we bring fresh updates every single day. Stay locked in. Next up, coin number 2 does not scream for attention. It waits. And that is exactly why people keep losing it. The year is 1950th. America is stepping into a new era. Post-war confidence, booming manufacturing, and a rapidly growing economy. Pennies were flowing everywhere, passed from hand to hand, spent without a second thought. And buried inside this everyday flood of copper was a version of the wheat penny that almost no one noticed. But the market notices now. This is the 1,950 wheat penny with no mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, and at first glance, it looks deceptively normal. That's the trap. Its surface carries a natural gray-black shadowed tone, not flashy, not polished, not screaming rarity. Just quiet, controlled darkness, formed through time, chemistry, and survival. This particular example stands in extra fine condition, and that detail alone changes everything. Extra fine means Lincoln's portrait remains sharp, the hairlines defined, the cheek contours still alive. The wheat ears on the reverse stand tall and separated, not blurred, not flat. This coin didn't just survive, it endured correctly. The design is classic and confident. Abraham Lincoln's profile still faces right with calm authority, a design that by 1950 had already become deeply embedded in American identity. On the reverse, the twin wheat stalks cradle the denomination, a reminder of growth and value, an irony that only becomes more powerful today. Now let's talk about what this coin is made of, because composition is part of its strength. This penny was struck in 95% copper with 5% zinc and tin, giving it a solid, dense feel that modern coins simply don't have. It weighs 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, with a thickness of approximately 1.55 millimeters. These dimensions are precise, unforgiving, and any deviation or surface anomaly becomes immediately noticeable to experts. And that is where this coin separates itself. The normal grey-black shadow look across its surface is not damage. It is not neglect. It is a naturally developed toning that only forms under specific conditions, conditions that preserve the metal rather than strip it. Collectors recognize this instantly. It signals originality. It signals authenticity. It signals that the coin has not been altered, cleaned, or tampered with. Rarity does not always announce itself through low mintage numbers. Sometimes rarity is born through survival against probability. Millions of 1,950 pennies were struck, yes, but how many survived decades without being cleaned, corroded, bent, or discarded? How many still carry this exact shadowed tone while retaining extra fine sharpness? Very few. Collector demand for this coin is intense, quiet, and serious. This is not a beginner's piece. This is a coin pursued by advanced collectors who understand market cycles, scarcity curves, and long-term value compression. When examples like this appear, they do not sit. They move, often privately, often quickly, often at numbers that never make headlines. Auction houses know this coin. Investors track it. And collectors who already own one know something important. Letting it go later will be harder than buying it today. Now pause here, because this is the moment where the weight of reality drops. In today's absolutely current auction market, for the exact extra fine condition with the natural grey-black shadowed surface described, this 1,950 wheat penny without a mint mark is commanding a verified market value of $450,000. That is $450,000 locked inside a coin that most people would still ignore in their change pile. This value is not frozen. It is not peaking. It is moving upward, driven by shrinking availability and rising collector pressure. Day by day, fewer of these surface. Year by year, more money chases fewer coins. This is not fiction. This is market behavior. This is the kind of asset that doesn't need noise. It doesn't need promotion. It grows through silence, patience, and inevitability. Coins like this turn time into leverage. For collectors, the message is clear and urgent. Never underestimate a wheat penny because of its date alone. Surface originality is everything. Condition discipline is everything. Storage, handling, and professional evaluation are non-negotiable. If you encounter a 1,950 no-mint mark wheat penny with this shadowed tone and sharp detail, you are not looking at spare change. You are staring at compressed wealth. The conclusion is unavoidable and powerful. This 1,950 wheat penny is not ordinary. It is not replaceable. It is a hidden, big treasure, quietly slipping through fingers, drawers, and collections because people don't know what they're holding. And this is only coin number 2. One more is coming, and it pushes the story even further. This is US MintX, where hidden wealth is uncovered, the truth of the market is revealed, and yes, we bring fresh updates every single day. Stay with us. Next up, coin number 3 is where most people make their biggest mistake. Because this coin doesn't look old and tired. It looks alive. The year is 1951, and the San Francisco Mint is operating with precision and discipline. America is deep into the post-war era. Metals are in demand, production is high, and coins are moving fast through circulation. Pennies were not meant to be saved. They were meant to be spent, scratched, dulled, and forgotten. And yet this coin survived differently. This is the 1951 wheat penny with the US Mint mark, and what immediately separates it from the crowd is its red look, still glowing through the decades, combined with distinct green spots, visible on the obverse. To the untrained eye, those green spots might look insignificant. To advanced collectors, they are a warning sign and an invitation. This example sits in very fine condition, a balance point where detail, originality, and honest age coexist. Lincoln's portrait remains strong, the jawline defined, the coat sharp. The wheat ears on the reverse stand clearly separated, not merged, not flat. This coin has presence. It has confidence. And more importantly, it has truth. The design is timeless. Lincoln's profile faces right, calm, and resolute, a design that by 1951 had already earned its place as a national icon. The reverse wheat stalks represent abundance and endurance, symbols that feel almost prophetic when applied to this specific coin today. Now let's talk about its physical reality, because this coin is not just history, it's engineered precision. This penny was struck in 95% copper with 5% zinc and tin, giving it that unmistakable density and warm tone collectors crave. It weighs 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, with a thickness of approximately 1.55 millimeters. These exact measurements matter because they confirm originality and rule out alterations that destroy value. And now, the part most people never understand. The red coloration combined with green spots is not random. It is the result of copper chemistry over time. The red tone indicates that much of the original mint luster survived, something incredibly rare for a coin that lived through circulation. The green spots, often referred to by collectors as early-stage verdigris, tell a deeper story. They confirm that the coin has not been stripped, cleaned, or artificially recolored. It is honest metal aging naturally. This combination is extremely difficult to find. Most coins lose red color early. Others corrode too far. This coin stopped in the middle, preserved just enough, aged just enough, to become something collectors actively hunt. Rarity here is layered. First, the San Francisco mint mark already narrows the field. Second, survival in very fine condition narrows it further. Third, the presence of red tone with controlled green spotting creates a category so small that examples surface rarely, and when they do, they are absorbed quickly by serious hands. Collector demand for this coin is intense and deliberate. This is not a speculative piece. This is a position coin. One collectors acquire knowing they may never get another chance at this quality. Demand comes from seasoned numismatists, private collectors, and long-term holders who understand that coins like this become anchors in elite collections. Now slow down, because this is the moment that changes how you see everything. In today's absolutely current auction market, for the exact very fine condition with the red look and green spots on the obverse as described, this 1951 US wheat penny is commanding a verified market value of $440,500. That is $440,500. Let that settle. This is not a hypothetical number. This is not a future dream. This is current reality, driven by active auctions, private sales, and collectors competing for a supply that keeps shrinking. Coins like this are not being created again. Every year, fewer exist in this condition, and more money is chasing them. The value trajectory is clear. It is rising, not stalling. Time is not eroding this coin's worth, it is sharpening it. Waiting does not weaken its position. It strengthens it. This is not fiction. This is market truth. For collectors, the guidance is critical. Never rush to judge copper color. Never clean. Never improve a coin. Red tone and natural spotting are fragile signals of originality. Proper storage, controlled environments, and expert evaluation are essential. If you encounter a 1951 wheat penny like this, you are not holding an old cent. You are holding a financial artifact with serious gravity. The conclusion is unavoidable and powerful. This coin is not common. It is not replaceable. It is not safe from being lost. It is a hidden, big treasure, quietly slipping through collections, estates, and forgotten boxes because people do not recognize what they have in their hands. And that completes the trio. This is US MintX, where hidden wealth is uncovered, the auction market is decoded, and the truth is revealed freshly every single day. Stay connected.